Greetings to all of you. My dear sisters and brothers and my dear friends, a warm welcome to all of you from your Pastor Yeti. A new week, a new story. Real freedom of the biblical devotional study of the 52 greatest stories. Exodus 20, which I will read now for all of you. We are on our Monday, so we have a story. And God spoke all these words. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am I a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses his name. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son or daughter, nor your male or female servant, nor your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your towns. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them. But he rested on the seventh day, and therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male or female servant, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. When the people saw the thunder and lightning, and heard the trumpet, and saw the mountain in smoke, they trembled with fear. They stayed at a distance and said to Moses, Speak to us yourself, and we will listen, but do not have God speak to us, or we will die. Moses said to the people, Do not be afraid. God has come to test you, so that the fear of God will be with you to keep you from sinning. The people remained at a distance while Moses approached the thick darkness where God was. Then the Lord said to Moses, Tell the Israelites this, You have seen for yourselves that I have spoken to you from heaven. Do not make any gods to be alongside me. Do not make for yourselves gods of silver or gold, gods of gold. Make an altar of earth for me, and sacrifice on it your burnt offerings and fellowship offerings, your sheep and goats, and your cattle. Wherever I cause my name to be honored, I will come to you and bless you. If you make an altar of stones for me, do not build it with dressed stones, for you will defile it if you use a tool on it. And do not go up to my altar on steps, or your private parts may be exposed. Freedom. The people were free after all those years, centuries of slavery and oppression. They were finally free and headed to claim their promised land. But there were still a few kinks that needed working out. For one thing, they had no idea how to live as a nation. They had been an extended family, living under someone else's rules and laws. They never really had rules and laws of their own before. So God decided to teach them how to live. There is something we should consider about God's communication with people. How He says what He says is often an important factor in being able to accurately discern His message. In fact, it could be said that how He delivers the message is part of the message itself. Imagine all those people standing around this gigantic smoking mountain. It's gigantic, There's thunder and lightning flashing around the top. They had been warned not to touch the mountain, lest they die. And you remember what happened the last time a warning like that was issued. Most of us probably know how this is going to turn out. After all, the movie re-airs on television every year, but the Hebrews haven't seen the movie yet. They are living it. They have absolutely no idea what's going to happen next. All they know is that this guy shows up saying that his crop caught on fire and told him to go to Pharaoh to get him free. And then, when Pharaoh didn't want to cooperate, and who could blame him really? There was an onslaught of plagues unleashed on those Egyptians. And now, here they are on their own, in the middle of nowhere, with more money than they know what to do with. So now this crazy Moses fellow climbs up this smoking and shaking mountain. Who knows how long he's going to be up there? At the top of the mountain, God tells Moses something amazing. If the people will commit to following his instructions, they will be his treasure, a people set apart for his purposes, set above all the other nations. That's pretty impressive. Do you think so? I think so. To go from slaves to envy of all, just by keeping God's instructions. Yet, you think it would be a no-brainer, right? The deal of a lifetime? Meanwhile, back down the mountain, the people grow impatient and talk Aaron, Moses' brother, into melting all the gold they had received into an idol for them to worship. When he finally climbs down, Moses finds them throwing a giant block party with drinking, dancing, and all kinds of sordid stuff that would get you thrown out of your local Bible club. Fortunately, God had told Moses something no one could have experienced before he gave even one of the 10 Commandments. God told Moses, "I am the Lord, your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery." In other words, the law was given after their freedom, not in order to gain their freedom. Don't forget that one. Obedience was not a means of becoming God's chosen people. Obedience was a response to God's deliverance. There were consequences for not obeying, of course. Sin is serious and brings about terrible results. Lots of the Israelites died as a result for their terrible choice. Still, God could have chosen to wipe them all out of the face of the earth. He could have abandoned them then and there, or sent them straight back into slavery in Egypt. But he didn't. See, God has a plan. And not even the disobedience of his people could stop it. My dear ones, God thinks about your life very serious. He's not fooling around with you. And you can fool yourself and you can fool others. And that works sometimes very well. But you cannot fool God. Right on that? So my dear ones, let the Most High bless you in your morning, noon times and evenings. And giving back all the worship and everything that happened in your day. And let Him bless you and yours next to you, the loved ones. Blessings to all of you, my dear ones. This is your Pastor Yeti. I love you guys. Bye.